And welcome to another episode of the Ouchcast. What's going on, guys?
Ouchies.
Ouchies? Seriously?
You know, he may bring you happiness, Pasquad.
No, he won't. He'll bring me penis. How you doing?
Well, isn't that happiness for you?
Ha.
You dirty scoundrel.
Shut your face.
You scallywag.
Shut your face.
Shut my face.
So, how you been, dude?
I mean, good now, but I feel exposed. By the way, they're going to tell, like, that.
Shush. Hey, and you call me peeking behind the curtain?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Hey.
You know, I realize that I'm wearing a name tag that could out where I'm at.
Wow. Make it more difficult for me. Anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. As you
Nothing
see,
can be done about it.
Changes. This is now season 5, episode 2. And now there is the element, which is you guys right there.
The element of surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker. How you doing?
Good. I'm still getting used to this video thing. I feel so exposed.
I feel violated.
Well, I feel like there's like more that we have to do. I mean, we're relearning this thing. Hadn't recorded in a while, and here we are again. And this time we're introducing this whole new concept of video for us, even though people have been doing this for 16 years, like everywhere else. And on top of it, like it's just you and I, and not Doyle, and so it's weird.
No, we also got my camera guy over there.
Yeah,
Isaac. Say hi, Isaac.
Hello.
The disembodied voice.
The voice from beyond.
From beyond.
Is that you, God?
Yes.
No, it's not. It's just a teenager.
Yes.
It's a shy little teenager.
Yes.
Yes. So here we are. It's now February.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy 2025.
By the way, yeah, it's Saturday and post Valentine's Day. Like, did you do anything for Valentine's Day? You didn't do anything?
Nah, not at all. My wife didn't want me to make a big deal, so we just went to go get some tacos. That was a Valentine's. I treated her to breakfast and then tacos for dinner for the family.
Yeah, you did.
I did something.
What'd you do?
Since me and all of our friends' girlfriends were gone for the day, we all went out together to go eat at Cane's.
Oh, they did a Palentine's.
I was gonna say Brolentines, but I like yours better.
Brolentines. You know, let me do the marketing here. I
got nothing. That's cool. Yeah, no, they
so you basically what you're telling me is all the girls left, right?
And he had a big
and
circle,
all the bros came together
and had a circle jerk.
And you see, you're skipping to the punchline because I'm just trying to say is that all the bros got together and you guys all bought each other food and sat around congratulating each other for not having your girlfriends there. Is that right? Sound about right?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, that's not gay at all. Sorry, you're not off limits.
No, that's funny. No, that's cool.
That's cool, dude. Yeah. Were the girls out doing their galentines? Is that what it was as well?
No, it's because one of our friends, their girlfriend's like really sick.
Oh.
And then 2 of the other ones are cheerleaders and they were at nationals.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like when your son says they're really sick, I have to ask you, do you mean like sick, like, or like, man, they're sick? You see the difference? I don't get you kids, man. And you're a damn lingo.
I'm not
whippersnappers.
I'm staying out of that one. I'll just shake my hand to my fist to the clouds.
Yes, that's the level of old you are.
Yeah.
Man, racking. Yeah, okay.
Our nickels had bees on the back.
I mean, we've already had that episode. Skibbity toilet.
Yeah, that was.
By the way, that student still keeps on saying it. It's so obnoxious.
Dude.
Skibbity toilet. I'm like, dude, it's not funny anymore.
My 6-year-old says it. Skibbity all the time. I'm like, oh Jesus, Alex, shut up. But no, it's slang will always change. I don't know. Any new slang, Isaac, that I should know about?
No, it's kind of just the same thing.
Same shit.
So. Okay, I don't care about this slang. I want to talk about Raising Cane's. So when you were at Raising Cane's, did you put like some of that hot sauce inside, like the cane sauce, like that, the remoulade, or I don't know.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Right, you got to put some of that hot sauce in there.
It tastes so good like that.
It does.
I'm a big spice fan, dude.
It does.
But this time I got the chicken sandwich, so it didn't come with the sauces. But I still got hot sauce and like put it all over the sandwich and all over my fries.
That's pretty good. But I mean, what you do is you ask one of your friends, "Hey, hook me up, give me some of that sauce." Or if you ask the counter, they'll give you some, wouldn't they? Or do they charge you for
they charge you 25 cents, I think.
Bastards.
Of course they do. Of course they
Bastards, man.
Anyhow.
Yeah. This just in, you could mix Thousand Islands with pepper and get the cane sauce. Okay, there you go. Go on.
Thousand Islands with pepper?
Yeah, that's it. A little bit of ketchup.
Really?
No, I don't know. I'm making rumors.
Oh, okay.
Look at all these rumors.
you're
Dabbing me
first.
every day.
Now,
Okay.
let's do some news here.
Sure, why not? Okay, so we're post Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
and that was the point I was trying to get, because your boy here did it right. Like, they got together, they hung out, had canes. I mean, that's,
Dude, I'm not going to hang out for you with Valentine's, dude. I'm not going to do it. Sorry.
that's
Stop.
all right.
Stop asking.
Well, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just had a discussion recently with someone about Valentine's Day, and I don't know if you remember last year, Doyle here, we did an episode we talked about. And in that episode, I talked about how one of my Valentine's Day, the last time I had with my girlfriend at the time, where I forget the actual discussion itself, but I just remember pieces of it. And one of the things that we talked about was how much money I spent on that day. And
I remember that.
I never made the comment that I paid for everything. What I made the comment on was that I paid a lot, like that, so much so that like my credit card bill, like I was still paying for it at the time. I think I still am, by the way, to be honest with you, interest. But the point though is that it was never like a pissing contest of like, I paid, you didn't. It was more like, no, I paid a lot. And we had a bit of a falling out at the time because I didn't do what's expected on a Valentine's Day. I'm talking about the flowers, the candies, and all that stuff. And I didn't do that because I don't even know how. I don't think in that way. I don't know how to do that. Instead, it was like, no, let's get together. Let's go out, do something together. And in my mind, I thought that was enough. So my question to you before we get into this a news thing, which it is Valentine's related, by the way.
Okay.
Like, what is that important? Because you had tacos. That's it.
Look, when me and my wife started dating, I did do the Valentine's thing. I'm not really like the romantic type. I'm a guy. So I'm not really wired that way.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
Do you identify as a guy?
No, I don't.
Is that your flavor of the month?
No, that's what MAGAs tell me I am.
Oh, so
there I am. But anyhow,
flavor of the month. Yeah, guy is what
Guys.
it is. Guys.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
No, they I did it when we were dating and all that, but like lately my wife's like, it's kind of like don't waste your money kind of mentality. We got to save for other things that we got to pay off our debt. She's big on paying off debt right now. So
It's a trap.
So
It's a trap.
So
Because
right
you know
now-
what's going to happen? Sorry. What's going to happen, sir, is like a few years from now, it's like, and you don't buy me anything for Valentine's Day. Should have bought you flowers.
But Valentine's Day is made up, dude. Fucking the Hallmark cards made it up just to sell more fucking cards and Hershey's for more chocolate. It doesn't. I mean, if you love someone, do you have to have a specific day for it? All it does is make the price of the flowers go up and eating out almost difficult because all these young whippersnappers are out there trying to like woo their ladies. Woo, woo a lady, woo.
So what you're saying is tacos and eating out is enough for Valentine's Day?
Let's get some tacos. Hey, those tacos were good though, right?
They were.
Yeah. La carreta.
Yeah, what kind of
la
tacos?
carreta in
Carreta.
Carreta. Sorry, la carreta in Pico Rivera, was it?
No.
I think it's Pico Rivera. I think it
I
is.
don't remember.
Yeah. Dude, they're Sinaloa style tacos with like those Hermosillo flour tortillas. And oh, God, it was just really delicious, dude.
And the salsa is really
The
good too.
salsa's really good. Spicy, but not enough for you to like die from. It was good. I recommend that place.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Packed. I'll send you the link.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want to eat some tacos for Valentine's Day.
I got your taco.
And you see, I don't want your taco, bro.
Yeah, you do.
You keep that. You keep that rancid shit to yourself. So,
Speaking of tacos,
speaking of actually not tacos.
yeah, Tampa woman
Yeah.
fulfills childhood dream of becoming a stripper,
Okay, so
just like her mom.
So when the inevitable letdown of Valentine's Day happens, right, and it will eventually, because it's a trap. It's all a trap, my guy. It's all a trap. You young blood. It's all a trap. Because girls gonna tell you, no, you don't have to get me nothing. What they really mean is get me a lot of something.
No, you know what? Let's expand on that. It's not just the women; men do it too.
Nah.
We do. Deep down inside, if we put all the effort and give all this money out, and then we don't get the same kind of gift giving back, deep down inside we kind of feel a little jilted, don't we? Don't you feel like I do? I mean, like, dude, like I like getting gifts. I like being spoiled.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I getting gifts is nice, but if I say what I mean, if I don't want something, I'm fine with it. But what I do want is some acknowledgement. Okay. So
Kick it, Roman Reigns. Acknowledge me.
well, yeah, sure. You gotta, if that's the only way you're gonna get that attention, it's like acknowledge me. It's like, no, I just want to be recognized for existing in that person's world, and it doesn't have to be through some expensive gift. It just has to be.
No, make me something. I'm happy with getting something made.
No, I
Cook
mean,
me.
so just to
Massage me. I'm talking to you, Enrique.
yeah, pass. You keep your rancid stinky body to yourself, my guy.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, I'm good. Now, okay, so if he if you go out with your girl on Valentine's Day, for me that's enough. Like if just spending time, and in that course of that time spending, there's things that are being paid for. Like I typically feel really good about doing that. I'm a giver. I like to give. If you're in my circle of friends and it's a very small one, if I care about you, I'm going to be very generous towards you, and it just happens automatically. I don't think about it. I don't worry about it. It just happens. And I'm fine with it. Like that's just how it goes. So my love language, is I don't know, what would it be, service? Is that what that's called? Or whatever the case is, I like giving. In terms of receiving, like I just want the person to be there and to exist there. And if I don't get something from them, like physically, I'm not going to be like upset about it. And it's not something that's going to accumulate over the years where I'm suddenly gonna be like, well, you never got me nothing. It's like, no, I'm more like, what I remember is like,
you just want to be appreciated.
Sure. Well, yes, 100%.
I think that's everybody though.
Right.
That's everyone. Because like my wife sometimes will be like, you don't appreciate me, but I mean, I do. I appreciate the shit out of her. It's just maybe I sometimes take it for granted, but that's just human nature. We always take everyone for granted.
We
sometimes.
do. That's true.
Sometimes I take my friendships with people for granted because it's like, he's there. He's not gonna go away. Enrique. It's not like you're moving to Minnesota.
That's true. I'm kind of stuck here. When you're when a relationship has challenges in the sense that you have to sort of work for that attention, there's something more valuable about it. When stagnation is a terrible thing. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And so that's when it becomes like that. That's when maybe the more lavish kind of aspects of like giving is more important, because those things mean a lot more in those times. But in the course of that, yes, getting taken for granted of is something. Currently I'm in a situation with some friends where I sometimes feel like I'm overlooked or being taken advantage of, or I'm sorry, not advantage, but being taken for granted. That's actually what I meant. And like, if I sit down and think about it, sure, it bugs me, but I don't act on it. In other words, I'm not, cutting, these friends off or being petty towards them because
or
of it.
Changing your guys' relationship.
Right. For me, it's more just something that I always treat these things as something I need to work on myself.
Right.
Which again, probably prolongs the taking advantage of aspect, taking someone for granted, because if you're not advocating for yourself, then you're gonna be taken advantage of. No one's gonna help you if you're not asking for help, and I kind of put myself into that situation.
Now, I got a question for you. Sometimes when the relationship, be it romantic or just platonic, when it's over and you analyze it and you go back and you review it and you're like, dude, I can't believe I bought them this, or I can't believe I gifted them that. Do you ever have like buyer's remorse when it comes to the relationship, like of all the time or energy or money that you spent to it?
It's very rare. I'm sure. Yeah, it has happened, but not really. Genuinely. Not genuine. Sorry. Generally, when I give something, it's sort of the second that it's out of my hands. I rarely ever think of it as mine or some possession of it, and so it's gone. That's not 100% like on everything. There are times when there's still a little bit of where I feel enough of a kinship towards that gesture that when things sort of go wrong, I think like, man, maybe I shouldn't have given that, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. And yes, so the buyer remorse, I think, is a good point, but that's very rare for me. Right. I mean, a good example is I'm the type of person that when I give, for example, money to my ex for my kid, my young kid, I don't micromanage that in any way. I think a lot of people do that, like in similar situations in mine, like if they're the step or the ex, I should say, and they're giving like some type of child support. They're always in a petty mindset about it, and like, well, that money better go to the kid, and you better not do. So where are you spending it? Is it in your account? Why are you asking for more money for clothes? I gave you this much, and I don't. The second that I give that money, like, I don't care what she does with it. I mean,
Right.
I mean, on some level, I should, and people tell me all the time, oh, you should. No, I don't need that sort of negativity. You know.
I hear you.
So instead, what I do is I hand off the money. And I don't think about it. And if my kid needs something else, and if I'm in a position to provide it, then I do it. And I don't think twice of it, because I'm not doing it for her. I'm doing it for him.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's all there is to it.
That makes sense.
But again, puts me in a situation where I might be taken for granted. Although not in this case. I think my relationship with both my kids' exes, my exes, I should say, is relatively solid, and I don't really. There are aspects of it that I wouldn't talk about on air that I always think about and wonder if there's differences that could have happened. But generally speaking, they're very cordial and very happy, and we're good.
Good times. Right on.
Sure. So I don't know if that answered your question. Maybe I would.
It did.
Yeah.
No, it did.
But on Valentine's Day, if you're of the other persuasion where you want to send an anti-Valentine's Day, have I got a story for you, my guy?
What's up?
Okay. So the headline is, Zoo will send pooping elephant videos to your ex for Valentine's. What a concept, right?
I got a better one for you, but yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
let's get into the weeds on this. I mean, first of all, dude, an elephant, man, they're pooping out some poop, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you're getting
massive one.
pounds of that stuff. And if you get a very like Lynchian, Quentin Tarantino-esque, like video, I mean, that's kind of dope. Like, I want to send that out to my enemies. It's like, hey, look at my poop.
Don't you wish it was scratch and sniff though for your enemies?
That's the next level.
Well, there is a service that actually does provide that. But go on. Read
Okay.
the story first. and I'll go with the other one.
So February 6th, as reported by UPI, whatever that is, the
Fake
Memphis
news.
Zoo in Tennessee is celebrating Valentine's Day by giving fans a chance to send a cute red panda video to their sweethearts. Aww. Or a video of an elephant pooping to their exes. So they're covering both spectrums, my guy. One is like, hey, here's a cute little red panda. And by the way, red pandas are adorable. Freaking love those red pandas. Or you can send a pooping video to
Is a red panda related to the actual panda or not really? They're more to a raccoon, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah, I think, and there's raccoons have a specific genotype.
Marsupial. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what that is. I just wanted to say marsupial.
That's a fun word.
Yeah.
All right. So to continue on, it says the zoo announced its dating or dumping promotion allows followers to exchange a donation of $10 for a video to pass along as a Valentine's Day gift. The options are an adorable video of a red panda munching on a grape. That actually sounds pretty adorable. Or a stinky video of an elephant poop hitting the pile, which probably makes a great sound. Can you imagine? It just goes. And it's just that slapping
Like
wet
slapping
sound.
mud.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so got an ex that deserves a stinking surprise. This Valentine's lets an elephant do the talking, or maybe you found the one and want to send them something adorable. Our red pandas have you covered. By the way, so did the elephant poop. You can get covered in that.
Oh my.
The zoo said it on its website, on social media, that elephant poop videos are good for more than just exes. So I guess you can send them to your best friends too. Maybe it's your annoying neighbor, overbearing mother-in-law, your ex, or that coworker still gives you nightmares. This Valentine's lets an elephant do the talking and name a turd after a turd.
I wonder if we can get one for the Outcast.
Discuss.
Now, I got a better one for you guys. Now, there is a website called poopsenders.com where they box up poop and send it to someone. There's also another one called shitexpress.com. So look those two up, shitexpress.com and poopsenders.com. for all your pooping needs.
I mean, I want to hear testimonials.
Let's order one.
I received a big
We should send one to
pile of
Doyle.
poop. Yeah, you know what?
Doyle, your birthday's coming up. I'm just kidding. That's perfect.
I support that idea. Let's do it. Let's send Doyle a big old stinking pile of poop.
Would you ever send someone poop? Would you?
Yes, I would send it to Doyle, and I would. But here's the only thing though. Like we would ask him, "Hey, can you record your reaction to it?" And he won't.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He won't.
5-minute video. Whatevs, dude. Whatevs.
But would I send it to somebody other than Doyle? Nah. I'm not. I don't know, man. Like,
what about Frank?
Which Frank?
High school Frank.
Oh, yeah. No. Here's the thing. I was saying earlier, I'm conflict adverse. I don't like conflict, man. And I mean, I can get into conflict, and I've gotten into fights, and both verbal and physical, but I generally don't want to, and so I avoid them. I do everything I can to, de-escalate in any way possible. I'm not. That's not to say that I'm like, oh, please don't hit me. And like some dude steps up, we're gonna talk, and that's fine. But I wouldn't send poop. It just seems like too aggressive.
Isaac, would you send poop to somebody?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Hey, you know what you do is you keep your Raising Cane's box, right? You and your friends all just like go out to Raising Cane's again. So let's say you get mad at some guy, and then you guys all just take turns pooping in the Raising Cane's box. Ta-da!
That's a different version of the Limp Biscuit, isn't it?
Yes, the Limp Biscuit. That is a poop reference, isn't it?
No, the Limp Biscuit is not.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah.
I thought it was
Okay.
it's when you're pooping and it like.
No, not even close. Okay. You guys should Google the term Limp Bizkit, not the band, but what the band is named on. And I'm gonna try to clean it up as much as possible, but it's a kind of a sexual act. And it's the act where someone gets a cracker or some kind of biscuit of some sort, and everyone's supposed to glaze it, if you know what I mean, all the men, using their and then I don't remember the whole concept, but it's something about like the loser has to eat it, and that's a Limp Bizkit.
How are you the loser?
By eating it,
You're the loser. No. There's that's a game that they play, and then you're supposed to. I don't know. I don't remember, but I remember in the 90s. That's how it was explained to me. That's what a Limp Bizkit is.
Okay, so let's see. The band Limp Bizkit name came from lead singer Fred Durst's desire to repel listeners. The exact origin of the name is unclear, but some say it was inspired by a game Durst played with friends.
He actually played this game.
It says Durst wanted a name that would turn people away. The band's name is sometimes said to have come from the game that him and his friends played in his hometown, and different band members have given different explanations for the name over the years. But yeah, I don't see the actual reference to it.
Yeah, I remember it, and I was so disgusted. I was a teenager, or when it came out, I was like, "This can't be real." But it's basically that's what it was. A Limp Bizkit is a glazed pastry of some sort that you're supposed to eat afterwards, something like that. I don't know. He's reading, ladies and gentlemen.
I am. I'm trying to figure this out. Like I'm on Reddit now, and there's a lot of like NSFWs, not safe for work. So it says the actual meaning, whether you like it or not.
Clean it up.
A game where a group of guys, self-stimulate themselves in a circle, and a cracker is placed in the middle. The last guy to finish
There it is.
on the cracker has to eat it with everybody else's glaze on it. I do, by the way, my cleaning of it makes it sound even dirtier. Therefore, the biscuit is limp because of the
sogginess
of all the glazing,
all the frosting.
Also, a band name by Fred Durst. So sure, there you go, Limp Bizkit. I don't think that's true. I'm sure that's
exactly verbatim what I had heard, something like that back in the 90s. Yeah. But I think it's something that Fred Durst made up to just make it sound disgusting.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of like how people started saying that Pearl Jam meant actual like Like,
Okay, I got it. I got
So-
it. Yeah.
So I think, which I don't think is true, or is it true? I don't know. That's just disgusting. But good time. Well, yeah. Well, the band 10cc's. That's what it comes from. It's a spoonful. That's a.
No.
Yes, look it up. 10
dude.
cc's is that,
Okay, so here's the funny thing about
and Loving Spoonful. Another band. Same
but
thing.
that one seems more on the nose. Okay, so here's the thing about 10 cc's. Just last night, I was talking to a friend. I had picked them up, and we were driving to Diamond Bar to go drop them off.
And he gave you his 10 cc's.
No, they were mentioning how that song had come on over the speakers at the Academy movie theater, and
I'm not in love.
that's the one. And then before that, there was a conversation at work specifically about that song. So, dude, this is the third like reference in a row, man. It's
One of the members is gonna pass away.
probably.
Yeah, because
because
usually that's what happens when we talk too much
But
about something
really?
that's in the world.
is
Yeah.
10 cc's really
10
bad?
cc's
Okay.
is what it is.
Oh yeah. I got it. I'm gonna look this up.
Look it up because I heard it and I didn't believe it, and then I looked it up and I'm like, oh my god, it's true. It's 10 cc's band.
Yeah. Well, let's see. The what is the meaning of 10 cc's is. And Lowell Cream, they embrace the name as a symbol of their playful and irreverent approach to blah blah blah. Is in early 70s 10cc became known. Okay, it doesn't really. What is a
Let me see.
Okay, a widely repeated claim disputed by King and Godley, who are the members of the band, but it was confirmed in a 1988 interview with Cream, is that the band name represented 10 cubic centimeters, a volume of men's glaze that was the average amount. There was amount, secreted, thus emphasizing their potency or prowess. So essentially, like 10 cc's is very manly because of
I'm
the
not
amount.
in love. Oh god, that's gross.
That is pretty gross, man.
Yeah, band names. There's a lot of them like that. Like, oh, you just mentioned Cream. That's another one. Like that doesn't sound right. Cream.
Cream, get on top. So, you were gonna
Oh, there's also a Love Gun by Kiss.
Love Gun by Kiss. Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that
that's
was
obvious.
stupid. That's obvious.
I mean, cherry pie by Skid Row.
Cherry Pie. Yeah, she's my cherry pie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. But speaking of cherry pie, there's one. Here's the next story here. Tampa woman fulfills childhood dream of becoming a stripper, just like her mother. Okay.
that's a dream.
Yeah. Sabrina Verlis of Tampa, Florida, had to be Florida, had a dream. When she was 14, her mom, a former exotic dancer, gave her some of her old costumes to try on at age 14.
That's child abuse.
Can you whip out the other monsters, please? I need to pick up. That's when the Tampa woman knew she wanted to follow her mom's footsteps and enter into the family business.
Can we call your kid Baba Booey?
Baba Booey. Baba Booey. 6 years later, at the age of 20, she told MSN, who was reporting this, she bought a pole, a pair of pleaser heels, and 2 dancer outfits. After practicing for 2 days straight, she auditioned at a club in Clearwater, Florida. Her audition became her first night's work, and she took home $300 to work the pole.
Dream fulfilled.
23, Sabrina works 10 to 25 hours a week on the pole on the stage and the private room to make $10,000 a night. $10,000 a night?
Sure, now that's my dream.
So we're announcing it here first. The Outcasts, they're going to become strippers.
Yeah.
So we're going to be going out there making $10,000 a night.
Well, look, we already got Papa here already on his pole. Look at that. He's ready to strip down. All right, dude, okay, so here's the thing about that, man. Like, I got a lot to say about this article so far. Like, this girl, 14, is already being exposed to that life, and then you wonder that she grows up and things like that is a legitimate way. Look, no shade on people who make that life choice.
No king shaming. No king shaming
Not at all. Like, if they make that life choice just purely on circumstances on their own, that's fine. But, I mean, if you're 14 and you're being exposed to that life at an early age, it's hard to say if you would have ever even thought that was something you would do unless you were exposed to it to begin with. And that's, by the way...
No pun intended.
That's partly my issue with OnlyFans. I mean, I don't hate the idea that women have taken back control of their bodies and in a sense taking out the middleman and also the dangers that come with sex worker life, and they're able to make some type of living through OnlyFans, that's fine. I don't have any issue. I know a lot of people like on, Instagram and social medias, they get very upset. Like they're like, oh, she has an OnlyFans, therefore she's invalid. But the problem that I have is that a lot of young girls are already being exposed to it, that they don't have any other, like thought process other than say this is a legitimate way of approaching the world and making money and getting people's attention and validation is by putting themselves on the internet. There was a time when getting a girl to like, or a guy, but just to be inclusive, but girl, to, like when you, in the course of your relationship where she sends you like a sexy picture, that's like it's a rite of passage. It's pretty nice. It's consensual, of course. And, and hopefully you're the respectful kind, if you're the receiver, to delete it when you guys break up, because you shouldn't hold on to that stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a separate discussion point, which I would like to have. But if you get a picture from your girlfriend video, and then your relationship ends, you should delete that stuff. Period. It should be gone. You should delete it. That's that. Because you guys are no longer in a consensual relationship. And while those videos and pictures were given to you at a time of consent, you no longer have a right to that. You may think you do because it's on your phone, and you may think that you're worthy enough to hold on to it and never show it to other people. But chances are you probably will. And so just get rid of it. Long story short, when you're exposed to OnlyFans at a young age, you're probably going to think it's okay to do it and therefore make it okay. I don't know that that's a healthy thing.
Well, the mom used to do stripping up in Pennsylvania in the 90s. So I think she probably was exposed at it since child. So for her, it just became second nature, which is fine, if that's their thing. But that's just strange. That's just strange. And you know what she learned stripping from? Not the mom. YouTube, of all places. She took lessons off of YouTube. I don't know, but that's what the article says. I don't know how you can learn off of YouTube, but
well, it's actually, that makes sense. It's they there's a different name for it. I forget what it's called, but
what, pole dancing?
Yeah, pole dance. But there's an actual name like besides pole dancing. But pole dancing,
it is an art form. It's
an art form. People have legitimized it. Like the burlesque aspect of it, the more salacious stuff, sometimes is not added, but it's not really even that big of a deal. But generally speaking, if you're a pole dancer, that's fine. And I think that, like for example, in Pasadena, me and two of my coworkers, we went to King Taco out there, and we after work, and we were walking around, like the little city parts, and we came across a studio that specifically does pole dancing. It says so on the sign outside, and we were being kind of jackasses. It was me and these two girls that I worked with.
So you joined?
No. Actually, it's even more funnier than that. We're standing there, and they're like trying to be funny, and they're taking pictures in front of the signage, trying to like be all like cute about it, like making jokes. And all of a sudden, this lady just passes by, and she says, "Excuse me," and she makes a left, right, inside, and so we all look at each other.
Oh my god! You guys just shamed it.
Yeah, we're just like, oh man, that's embarrassing. That was super cringe.
That's very cringe.
Yeah, it was super cringe. But but at the end of the day, dude, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's an art form. It is an art form. I've, in my youth, I did have some friends that were strippers, and
you can say in your youth you stripped. You pulled.
Have you seen my body? No. I had some friends that did it, and they did the pole thing and all that. And that was cool. That was really. I think it's still cool. Like when you actually see videos of them like going all the way up and then slamming down, sliding down, and doing all that stuff. It's a athletic thing to do when done properly. When it's not just someone just gyrating to cherry pie from Warren on a pole just dancing around it.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like Cirque du Soleil. You see a lot of these people, they're dancing like using the
ropes,
and the drapes and stuff.
And all
super
that.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Well, I know the first time I ever saw that was on that Janet Jackson video. Do you remember the Janet Jackson video from the 90s? I forget what the song was, but it was
no.
No. It was post that. It's that album with, it's just her face, like with her red curly hair at the time. And anyways, the song and the video was like super like elaborate, and she's on these like drapes that she's using to like climb up and climb down, and it's just incredibly acrobatic. It's very cool. Very cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. But okay, so let me, this one not so salacious, but
speaking of art.
So there was I don't know if you saw them, but there were these this art that was like showing up with little googly eyes. People were putting googly eyes on stuff. Did you ever see that or hear about that? It's sort of like this performance art thing, just kind of like the recently somebody had stolen a banana and eaten it like off out of a art studio. Did you hear about that?
The duct tape banana?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that a few times though. The duct tape banana. They bought it for like $1 million and then someone just ate it before they could actually. That's just so stupid.
Well, I was at a secondhand shop, and on the board somebody put up a banana with duct tape and a little post-it that said $2 million. Please don't eat it. It was hilarious. I have a picture on my phone of it.
That's too funny.
Well, anyways, these googly eyes started appearing all over Seattle. So let me read you this article. It says, man says he was behind some of the viral googly eyes on public art in Oregon. It says Portland, Oregon, a resident of the central Oregon city of Bend says he was the person behind some of the googly eyes that appeared on sculptures around the city in recent months and sparked a viral sensation widely covered by news outlets. Jeff Keith, founder of a Bend-based nonprofit called Guardian Group that works to combat human trafficking, said Friday that he used a duct tape to attach googly eyes to 2 sculptures. He said he has carried out similar pranks on other Bend sculptures before, such as adorning them with hula skirts and leis, and that they served as a respite from the emotional toil of his work. It is a place for me to cope with some pretty heavy stuff, he told the Associated Press, noting that many of the trafficking victims he has worked with have been through unimaginable trauma. Sure, I mean, I believe that. Last thing I'll say is the city shared photos of the googly eye installation on social media into early December, saying the adhesives can damage the art. One photo shows googly eyes placed on a sculpture of 2 deer, which Keith described as his handiwork, while another shows them attached to a sphere. City officials at the time said 8 sculptures were affected and that it cost $1,500 to remove the googly eyes.
It couldn't cost that much. Come on. 2 guys, some goo remover.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I don't want to like agree with Musk and his crony Trump, but sometimes it's like some of those expenses that they do is like $1,500 for that is ridiculous. Dude.
Sure.
It's not going to take them 8 hours to remove. It's going to take them like 3 hours tops. Remove them, some goo be gone. You're done and move on.
Yeah, that whole efficiency approach to stuff. I mean, there's a valid argument there, and for years there's been examples of how the government has, wasted. Like, do you remember hearing about like
the pencils,
the $800 pencils, and the $1,000 like
screws and bolts and stuff?
Yeah, and those things do exist, but mind you, that's the type of stuff in which unscrupulous.
Vendors,
take advantage of their government contracts, and I guarantee you that Elon Musk, just like Donald Trump, has done that. Like, for example, remember when during the debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and she called him out on some of his tax loops, and he said, "I'm smart because I do take advantage of that.
Yeah,
I take advantage of loopholes. That's why I want to be president so I can get rid of them." I mean, but
he didn't.
No, he didn't. They're expanding them.
They made him more. Yeah.
And so, but such a genius like example of gaslighting. By the way, that's the thing of it.
Yeah.
So, okay, this guy putting up the googly eyes, I mean, that was fun. And you're right. Like, somebody has to go out there and do the work. Like, for example, they have to pay the guy to go out and remove the stuff. So that guy's salary has to be factored into the price, and then of course whatever adhesive they use and the materials to remove them. But beyond that, you're right, dude. It's not $1,500. It seems ridiculous. It's an over exaggeration in order to make a point for the outrage that they felt.
It should be like $500, and that's even still inflated. But I'm okay with that instead of $1,500.
Well, okay, so check this out. I mean, it's a story that I believe it's on the 110 freeway over here in LA. It's one of the earliest highways that they created, or freeways, okay, because that's what we call them out here, that was supposed to bridge the gap between Pasadena and Los Angeles, connecting those affluent neighborhoods and with the heart of the city.
Yeah,
you know the ones that I'm talking about, right? In fact, they filmed, I think, Back to the Future 2 in the archway there, where remember when Marty's about to get run over by old Biff in the car, and then all of a sudden Doc Brown flies in on the DeLorean and is able to lift them up and away, and essentially that highway part, that's the 110 freeway that was filmed there. Okay, well, all right, for the longest time there was a sign there. The signage above was confusing and kind of dangerous, and there was a guy who kept on telling people like they need to change it. They need to show that if you make a left, you can go onto this off ramp or on ramp or whatever.
Yeah.
The city wouldn't do it, right? Because there's all of this bureaucracy involved
and red tape that you got to go through.
And that sort of thing that fuels this current anger, and why people are able to say that, you know, the efficiency movement that Elon Musk is spearheading is legitimate because of it. And I unfortunately I can see the legitimacy of it, but at the same time the way it's being done is bad. Completely different discussion. Anyways, this guy, what he did was that he studied the paints that they used for the signage. He studied the fonts and everything, and he basically made one.
Right, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
So he made the signs, and the city didn't recognize it for like 5, 10, 15 years, a long time.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he admitted that he did it.
And then they wanted to penalize him after the fact.
Yeah, but it was like, it's too late. They even kept it up. And then in fact, they ultimately made a legitimate one.
Yeah.
So
and they took down the other one to put up the legitimate, which was stupid. It's like, dude, just pay the man and that's it. Get it over with. Why are you going through all that stuff just because you want to prove a point? I'm sorry, but like all the government is kooky. I don't know what's going on with all of it. Even before Trump and his idiots got in charge, there was just a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah, dude, don't even get me started. Are you like the type of person that's been glued to the news lately? Because I have, dude.
I have, but I seriously, there's so much going on that I just laugh about it. Like the whole Gulf of America thing is ridiculous. Where now, for some odd reason, they got into a pissing match about naming the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, but it only goes for the United States because the rest of the world still calls it. Guess what? Gulf of Mexico, not Gulf of America. Only Americans call it the Gulf of America. So kudos to you, MAGAs.
The thing about naming landmarks and stuff, there's nothing new there. People.
Denali McKinley thing has been around for a long time.
Yeah, and the rest of the world has different names for different things. That's fine. That's why I'm not really bothered too much by it's ridiculous. But it's such a high profile thing because Donald Trump doesn't do anything small. Anything he does, he's always going to.
But it's also a finagle. It's done to just misdirect information from the other stuff that they're doing. So they just do all these weird things like saying that we want to own, the Panama Canal. We want to get Greenland. We got to get Canada.
We want to annex Canada.
This is all just like a misdirection to other stuff. They're just trying to confuse and just.
Well, Steve Bannon.
I give up.
Steve Bannon kind of like talked about that, like back in, I forget, it was in 2017, pretty much like a year into Donald Trump's first presidency. He has a name for it. It's called I want to say it's called the Rule of Three. The sort of like a Sith rule.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. Do it. Excellent. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Yes. Is that something I can learn? Not by a Jedi. So, anyways, so the Rule of Three, basically, he says, I forget the exact quote, but essentially he says that the news media outlets are so stupid, his words, that he does say, that they cannot focus on anything but three things because they have to get stuck in that cycle. And if you do that, then you'll get them talking about a specific, controversy while while the thieves in the night come in and do something else. So you basically, it's like, look at the birdie, and you obfuscate, I think is the term. I forget.
But it's true though. He's not wrong. It's usually how it is. They just focus in on the wrong points, and then it becomes a thing.
But that's the thing. Like,
give them the old razzle dazzle.
He acts like if it's like this. People act like if it's like this big chess move, but dude, that's just like that's always been the case. Yep. The only difference is that these guys are doing the quiet part out loud. right? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so I know that you and Doyle, like, you always fell back on, and it would annoy the shit out of me when you guys do it. Sorry, watch my language on this one. But it would annoy me because it's such an easy out when you guys say, well, that's how all politicians are. That's all. Because at that point, that's the end of the discussion. You can't move forward. And I hate that because while there may be some truth in it, it's still worth investigating. Still, because not everything is easily explained by, well, that's how they all are, so might as well leave it alone, or might as well not be involved, or whatever, the outcome is. It's annoying. But here's the thing. That right now we're seeing really bad actors working in our governmental stage, taking advantage of something, yes, that has existed for a long time, but doing it to the extent that they genuinely want to they want to destroy our economy. They want to destroy our systems because, as Elon Musk says, well, you got to break something in order to fix it. I mean, that's what I was hearing Ben Shapiro when I was listening a little bit to him explaining why it's okay that Elon Musk did it. And by the way, your reaction is exactly how I felt. I could only listen to it for about 10, 15 minutes, and I had to just like, okay, I can't listen to this anymore. And I hate that because there was a time when I would listen, and I felt like that there was still some ability to control the way things are going. And right now I feel like there's just none, dude.
Nah.
It scares the crap out of me.
It's depressing. It really is.
Yep.
Seeing everything happening, seeing the ICE raids for stupidity, seeing all the entitled people out there. I'm hoping that we actually annex to Denmark.
Well, that's interesting because the article that I found that I think is interesting is a joke petition.
That's what I was talking about.
seeks to help Denmark buy California as Trump eyes Greenland.
Oh, yeah.
It's meant to be a joke, right?
I wasn't even looking over that, but yeah,
it's meant to be a joke, but I think it falls under that rule of three, and that everyone's so focused on this that they're ignoring some of the awful things like that's happening between Trump and Putin in regards to the Ukraine.
Ukraine, yeah,
and not to mention like all the firings that are happening on a federal level, and it's just
all the departments being closed down. But at the same time, SpaceX and Tesla are getting great, huge new grants. Strange.
400 million for what initially was listed on the budget as for Tesla vehicles, and then they went back and after Elon Musk said, "Oh no, that's a lie," they deleted the name Tesla and replaced it with electric vehicles. So, who's the only person?
Let me think.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous. But okay, let me read this article and then we'll get into the other part. So, so is California for sale?
I hope so.
Yeah, all right.
It's not going to happen.
A lighthearted petition to buy the state of California for Denmark has prompted more than 200,000 signatures by Wednesday of this week in response to President Donald Trump talking about taking control of Greenland, which is a vast and mineral-rich Arctic island. Quote, have you ever looked at a map and thought, you know what Denmark needs? More sunshine, palm trees, and roller skates, the petition asks. Well, we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make that dream a reality. It is in the national interest to promote the extraordinary heritage of our nation, so California will become New Denmark, Los Angeles, more like Los Angeles with the exaggerated O with the line through it, the whole Scandinavian like alphabet. Xavier Dutoit, the petition's organizer, got the idea last month while vacationing in the Philippines. He overheard an American tourist loudly discussing Trump's Greenland pitch. Quote, that American didn't seem to grasp how unhinged and absurd it was for any country's president, especially in a stable democracy that
Shocker.
the USA claims to be, to offer or threaten to take over another sovereign country's territory, Dutoit wrote in an email to the Associated Press. And while Dutoit is not Danish, he is Swiss French. He consulted a multinational group of friends who are helping him, including Kenneth Haar, who is Danish and lives in Copenhagen. The it says here the Trump-Greenland issue is by far the biggest political issue in this country at the moment. It is considered a very depressing and very dangerous situation. And while Los Angeles is a joke, there is another city in Southern California with a very real connection to the land of the Vikings, Legos, and Hans Christian Andersen, known as the Danish capital of America, Solvang. Yeah. I was just talking about Solvang recently too. Yeah. Have you ever?
Yeah, years ago, but I gotta take the family out.
It's beautiful there, man.
Gorgeous.
So it was founded by 3 immigrants from Denmark in 1911. The city is popular with tourists who come in droves for its able skiver pastries, similar to fritters, Scandinavian windmills, and a main street called Copenhagen Drive. And of course, is a Han Christian Andersen Museum to honor the famous Danish fairy tale author. Danish royals have visited several times over the decades. So it says here that in 2019, Trump scrapped a trip to Denmark, blaming Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen for making a nasty statement when she rejected his first-term idea of buying Greenland as an absurdity. Greenland is the semi-autonomous territory of Denmark, a U.S. ally, and a fellow member of NATO. Before taking office again last month, Trump said he would not rule out the use of military force to seize control of Greenland.
He is such an idiot.
Calling it vital to U.S. national security. And last month, his son visited the island. Dude, like, of course, like, they're like absolutely like, stoking Morons? The flames. But here's the thing, man. I mean, let me tell you this. What scares me more is I saw a video recently where it outlined how Hitler
I saw that
destroyed
35 days.
Well, I don't know if that's what it was called, but
no, but I think it was like in 35 days he redid a bunch of the German government.
Yeah, well, that's of course, but the playbook is even worse than that. What happened was, okay, in 1923, he did what's called the beer hall push.
Yeah,
and in that he had no political power at the time. He was just some loud braggart who organized a large group of Nazi socialists, and they were aggrieved, and he tried a coup d'état. What he did was, I think it was something like 2,000 Nazis marched in the town, and exactly, it is exactly that, because the only reason he didn't get charged for treason on a national level was because he didn't leave the city limits. They were in the city, and when the cops came in and broke it up and killed something like 14 Nazis, he fled into the countryside. When they finally caught him 2 days later, he was tried. He was given a national platform. He became very famous. He went to jail for 4 years supposedly, but he only served something like 9 months. And in that time, he had written Mein Kampf, which ultimately gave him all of this political clout, and that's when he did the most damage.
Yep.
That's when he went into government. He did it legally, and then started dismantling the Constitution in the same way that Trump and Elon Musk are dismantling our government systems now, and that's the scary part.
Yep.
That's what scares me right
100%. 100%. I don't know. It's really, really.
But you know what? If I could, dude, I would want, like, for Elon Musk to gargle these nuts. Have you heard of that, like, bus guy who told, like, the ICE people, like he said, they said, we want to board your bus, and because we want to cart everybody in the bus, and he's like, you can gargle these nuts, is what he told them.
I saw that.
Okay, so is it possible to, like, choke on somebody's nuts? I don't know. You tell me.
Choke on these.
Choke on these. So
speaking of choking, so I got a story here. All right, it's a little. Is
weird.
It
little or is it large?
It's extra large, according to this. This is from a website called vocal.media.
Yeah, it is.
Man claims woman choked to death on his extra large penis. Okay.
Look at, he's smiling, by the way, in the picture. Yeah. He looks very proud. It's not even a smile; it's more like this. He's like, he's very proud of himself. Look at that guy. He's like, yeah, she choked on these.
These nuts.
Both of these.
It says, so basically, Francesca Marquinez passed away while performing oral sex on her 65-year-old boyfriend, Richard Patterson, from, guess where?
Marquinez choked on his penis?
Margate, Florida. It's another Florida story. The medical examiner could not determine Marquinez's cause of death due to the level of body decomposition. Patterson admitted that he killed the woman, but said she accidentally choked on his manhood while performing fellatio. The couple had dated for only 4 months at the time of the incident on October 2015. Okay, prosecutors could not determine how long her body had laid in the bed before Patterson finally called 911. Testimony from Patterson's ex-girlfriend, who's also a crime scene investigator, and his daughter wasn't enough to convict him of second-degree murder, a crime that could have sent him to prison for the rest of his life. So he got off on this.
Yeah, he did. Dude, this article's great. Keep on going, please.
So let me just show another picture of them.
Man.
Here's a picture of the suspect with the large genitalia and the victim.
Which one do you think has the big penis and which one doesn't?
Thank you.
You decide.
Yeah, there you go, right there. Okay. All right. So it says when CSI's Jennifer Breer described the condition of Marquinez's body when she examined it by saying she was already starting to decompose. So it's been a while then, huh?
If it's decomposing, I think it's something like after 7 days.
Yeah. No, I think it's less. I think it's like 4 days.
Is it?
I don't remember.
Well, those corpse gardens. Like I have you ever visited one? I did.
Yeah. I did a lead abatement job at the coroner's office.
Oh, neat.
The stench was overwhelming. I have no problem with corpses. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just the
smell's bad.
The smell of formaldehyde really upsets my stomach.
Well, no. So the interesting thing about these, if you remember, the corpse gardens are for people who don't know, it's basically
Those
these.
are awesome.
They're. I think LA County has one. You can find them in most large counties where they investigate the effects of bodies decomposing in different environments, particularly out in nature. They essentially take donated bodies and they leave them out in the open or they put them in the ground.
Yeah.
They basically examine the decomposition
of the bodies in different forms.
In different forms, and they use them for crime scenes, and they use them for
training.
They use it for just and they're very vital things. And but one of the things, you get is the smell. It's insane. I mean, it's a very really potent, like pungent thing.
Lawyers for Patterson's wanted to show his penis to jury in the court, but were shot down. They argued whether the jury would see photographs of his genitalia. To see the size of his penis, whether his penis would be flaccid, erect, or more.
Let the boy watch.
Patterson's attorney did not provide the prosecuting team with 2 photographs of the penis. So it's just, he was found not guilty. It took jury just 5 hours to reach a not guilty verdict, but they did punish the penis.
Okay, so you know what? Okay, two references come to mind. It's like, do you remember in Hot Tub Time Machine when what's his name has to when he makes the bet because they're from the future and he makes the bet on the sports games and something ends up going wrong. So he's on his knees about to have to go down on his friend and and the guy's black. So he's like, oh my God, it's so impossibly black. He goes, good for you, because of how big it is.
I remember that.
And the guy's like, I know, right? And he's all crying. It's great.
It's disgusting.
The second reference is, do you remember on Eastbound and Out?
Never seen it.
Never.
It's on my to-do list.
Oh, dude, this one scene with Danny McBride and the same guy, by the way. I forget what the
Craig Robinson.
Yeah. And same guy from Hot Tub Time Machine. They're there, and then what's his name? Will Ferrell, and he's playing like this guy with like a southern accent, and he's like telling a story. He goes, I was making vigorous love to my wife, and then suddenly there was a rapping on the door, and my son came in, and she goes, oh my God, get out. And he goes, no, let the boy watch.
I've seen that video.
Let him learn like I learned from my dad and my dad's dad and my dad's dad.
Speaking of the boy, Isaac, take over real quick. I know we're still recording, but I gotta go to the little boy's room.
Oh man, I've been holding it for a while.
I can't.
Bruh, why don't we just sign out?
It's all the monsters. Okay.
Let's sign out. You know
Fine,
what? This has been fun, but we are professionals here. We are professionals. Damn it!
I gotta drain the lizard. I gotta make Godzilla cry.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. All right, so
and there you go with the cussing.
Because you broke me down.
All right, everybody, say goodbye.
Ouch!
No, not ouch. It's a sucker.
Ouch!
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, never make eye contact while eating a banana. I gotta pee. Peace.